It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. He's getting serious about this. He took his jacket off for this, boys and girls. Bob Pollock with us from the Extension Office. Our conversation brought to you by Marcus & Mack, voted best personal injury law firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. So I feel like every year at this time we need to do this. We need to give the basic primer on the care and feeding and watering of our Christmas trees that we're bringing indoors. Is it more than simply just make sure the tree has water? Can it be more than that?
That's probably the most important thing, is making sure that it
Hydrated?
has enough hydration. And if the tree has just been fresh cut, which hopefully it has, then that it already should be pretty hydrated to begin with, and then we just need to do some simple steps to keep that going. I know there have been reports out there that, there could be a shortage and all that stuff, but I guess another way to look at that is, think about last year. We were really in similar territory last year. Did you get your tree? And I don't recall hearing anybody say they didn't get a tree.
No.
So just go back, think about that. Things will probably be pretty similar this year. So what do we need to really think about and do is just make sure that where you want to get your tree is open. Just make sure things haven't changed there. And with social media and everything these days, you can usually just look that up on your phone or tablet or computer and Facebook and all those things.
And our tree growers are pretty smart.
Yes.
They know what they're doing. So
that's right. So they'll, find out what days and times that they're open, and pick out which one you want to go to. Maybe have a second choice just in case. And maybe don't wait till decide when you want to have the tree. When do you want to put it up? You don't have to wait till then to get it. You can get it before that. That's fine, as long as you have a place where you can store it. And that doesn't have to be anything really special. Just out of the wind, out of the sun, and then you can even just when you get it home, if you want to store it a little bit, maybe you're not going to put it up for a week or two. Then make a nice fresh cut on the bottom. And especially if that tree's been cut within the last, few days or a week, you won't have to cut much off the bottom just to get that, because that will seal itself off, that cut surface, with sap. So we're just trying to cut enough off to get the system opened up, the pipes opened up again so that they'll absorb water through the bottom of the trunk, stick it in a container that just has water and watch over that and just make sure it doesn't dry out.
Old fella I knew used to drill holes in the trunk down where below the water line because he figured it would get more moisture that way. Not necessary.
No, not necessary. Just having that fresh cut on the bottom, because when you look at that cut surface, the live part of the wood that absorbs the water is a layer right underneath the bark, the whole way around that trunk. So that's the only place where the plumbing system in the structure.
That's where it lives.
Yes. Yep. That's where the water is able to go up through. And, of course, that comes in normally from the root system, and then that flow just keeps going.
Way up. If you cut down your own tree out on the Christmas tree lot, by the time you get it home, after putting it in the car, say you're 25 minutes, half hour away, that thing hasn't had time to seal over.
No, you'll be fine.
You don't have to cut it again. Doesn't hurt you to cut it again, and maybe you want to get it nice and even.
Right. Yeah. Maybe you didn't get it when you made that first cut out in the field. Maybe the slope of the ground, the terrain and everything. You didn't get as nice a cut as you wanted to. You can touch that up. Most stands, you need to have that fairly good perpendicular cut there in order for it to stand properly in the stand and not lean over. So yeah, just get home, touch that up if you need to. If not, you don't. You're going to put it right in the container it's going to be in, and get water on it. You'll be fine.
There are products which claim to extend the life of a tree. You mix it in with your water. Does that work?
Not necessary, really. Just water. That's all that we need.
It doesn't get that out. Mother Nature doesn't come by and give them that either.
No,
So.
no.
Plain old rain.
I mean, yeah, we get the, at this point, we've removed the root system from that plant. We're not expecting it to go on living for years to come. We're just trying to keep it hydrated for the couple of weeks, few weeks, even a month or more. Depending on how long we want to keep it in our house through the holidays. That's all we're trying to do at this point. So as long as we have that good fresh cut and we keep water on it, that's all we need to do.
Yeah.
And then, of course, once we set it up inside, preferably, if we can, keep it away from where the sun's, glaring on it.
Heat sources like the radiator.
The heat sources and things, the radiator coming out, blowing hot, dry air over it. That's what we're trying to minimize there, just to preserve, because it still is alive. It still will respire, meaning it will lose moisture. So just trying to minimize the moisture loss, and we'll be fine.
All right.
Yep,
Nice.
that'll keep it fresh.
There's your basic Christmas tree knowledge for this day.
Selection, because supplies might be tight on certain species of trees, possibly.
Is a type likely to last longer than another type?
Yes, there are variations.
Spruces,
by
for instance?
species. Yeah, so sometimes spruces won't hold needles as long as the firs will. And again, you can pick and choose. If you're only going to have your tree up for a couple of weeks, the spruce is going to be fine, no problem at all. And even some spruces, like White Hill spruce and those there's no problem. They will hold their needles without any trouble. The pines as well, typically any of those species will do fine. And it comes down to your preference. Do you want a longer needled species, a shorter needled species? Like with Colorado spruce, maybe you want that bluish silvery hue and coloration, but then you got to weigh, do I want all those sharp needles because they're sharp pointed versus the firs, which are soft pointed.
Everybody wants the Fraser now. The Fraser is like
that's
the king of the trees at the moment.
Those firs, yes, and there are different species within the fir group, and some of those you will start. There's grand fir, Fraser fir, of course, Canaan fir, and there's some others. There's Nordman fir, and there's combinations of those. So where they actually crossbred a couple of those different species, trying to get maybe new and improved, something that still has good structure, good needle retention, growth habit. A lot of times in these crosses, they're looking for something that can be grown easily too. The easier it is to grow.
Yeah, they want a faster growing tree.
Yeah, right. Will it grow faster just naturally? Will it hold the needles? Does it have good form?
What's the shape going to be?
Will that cross make a tree that I have to shear less? Less work going into the whole process. So that all factors in, and there's people working on that, and it's a long-term process to make that happen. But you might start to see just some of those other names start to appear here and there. Some of those other species of firs can have like a shinier, glossier appearance to them. And they might have a little wider, longer needle. So, again, just go and look and find what looks like will fit your situation. Some things grow wider at the base. There'll be a fuller tree. and that's something that really is deceiving when we go out looking for trees, because most of the time trees are shown to us out in open space. They're either, if you're going out in the field to cut
We think they're smaller than they are when
yes,
we cut
and you're
them.
out in this open space, and oh yeah, that doesn't look big at all. And then you get it back, and you try to put it in the car, or you try to fit it through the door in the house. You say, ooh.
All right, I want to ask you about this because timing is always an issue for those who want to play mad scientist, and their poinsettias and their Christmas cacti. They've had them in the dark. When is it time to have those start to emerge out and get some light in order to bloom or to turn the right color for Christmas?
Right. Once you start to get color, once that color starts to appear, then, at that point, we can kind of bring them out and enjoy them. So if you have my Thanksgiving cactus, it started blooming like a week and a half ago. But, once the buds are there, once those flower buds are there and you can see them,
then they can get
then you can just bring them out and then watch the process unfold. And then same thing with poinsettias. Once that color is there, then we can.
But it's so dark that when you get in there, you can't see that. If the color changed or not.
But remember, we're keeping them in the dark for 12 hours a day, and then we're bringing them out into the light for the daytime, and then we put them back in that dark area.
There are plenty of people that say, I live in the dark anyway. So. All right, so there you go.
Well, maybe you have a flashlight.
All right, sir, thank you so much.
You are welcome.
He is Bob Pollock with the Extension Service, and it is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com.
Preparing families for retirement, GCES.
Hi, this is Clint from GCES, voted Indiana County's #1 financial planner. As the holidays are approaching and everyone's spending quality time with their families, now's a great time to do a financial checkup. If you've got questions on rollover,